He stood up for 25 seconds and I'm cheering and I'm gassing him up. That video went mad, and there was a little boy in Northern Ireland that sent me a video saying he's the same age as Josh, similar condition. He's going to try that today.
Javeno Mclean.
Javeno Mclean.
Javeno Mclean
is a personal trainer,
community champion,
and owner of the award-winning J7 Health Centre.
I've only started filming in the last 4 or 5 years. I seen somebody accidentally filmed in the gym. All these fitness guys now, they're just trying to sell sex. It's the girls out there with the booties out. Everything that you write down that you want to be, you are that person already. Just got to dig deep and get it out.
Thank you so much for everybody who's here. We absolutely love MDen and MDen members. So thank you guys. Thank you, Victoria. I recognize you. Thank you so much, guys. Today, I'm super excited for the Redefined Series with Javeno Mclean. Absolute pleasure to be interviewing you today. A little bit, I've gone through health issues myself. I've done a lot around trying to figure out who do I speak to get me to the next level. And there's not a lot of times in your life where you meet genuinely good human beings who's doing absolutely amazing stuff. So it's an absolute honor to be here with you, interviewing you today.
Thank you so much. It's good to be here as well, guys. It's posh in here, isn't it? Bit posh.
Just a little bit, just an introduction. Javeno is an ex-cricketer and also a power lifter for the GB team, the GB team, and also helps and inspires a lot of people and disabled people to do the right things and overcomes. One of the things that he does, he overcomes that problem of looking at someone and saying, actually, they're restricted of doing things. He sees past that and looks at possibilities and the human potential on what they're actually capable of doing and pushes that envelope to try and make it happen. I'm just curious and really frustrated as to why not more people are like you. So I just want to jump in there. Tell us a little bit about you and why is it only very few people that do what you do?
Firstly, I love talking. I do a lot of events where I talk and stuff, and I think when you've got a passion for something, it's quite easy to talk about it, and it's nice, especially if people don't know what I do. But like me and Jason were speaking before, I don't know the reason behind my stuff. I'm not going to lie. So I'll never lie to people or in interviews. There's nobody in my family with disability that I know of. Obviously there's elderly people, but I've not been affected by it. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people around the world will think I've got somebody very close to me that's disabled. I haven't. I just don't like injustice, man. I just don't like it, and I've got a big mouth, and I'll always speak on something. If I see, I've done it since I was 16. I've trained disabled people, elderly people, free. I've not took a penny off anybody since I was 16. And the reason purely is I'm 39. I'm not saying that like I'm dead old, by the way, but I'm 39, man. And I just don't like the world, man. When I was a teenager, we didn't have the social media. So you knock on for your friend to come out and play and you chat to your friends. I don't like the way the world's kind of changed. And then we've got this new world of clout chasing. For anyone who's a bit older who doesn't know what that means, clout chasing is when people just do things for likes, do things just to put it on the gram or Facebook. So if you was a homeless person, God forbid, and I wanted to give you a sandwich, why do I need to pull out my phone and say, look, I'm here, guys, I'm just about to give this homeless man? It kind of defeats the purpose of it. So I just believe that if you're going to do something, like I have since I was 16, from the purest part of your soul, there's no NatWest, there's no TSB, there's no cash machine. Do it because you want to do it, not because you want the likes, or you know what I'm saying? And I've been like that since I was 16, and I don't understand. There's a few times I should have probably been punched in the face, if I'm honest with you. There's a few times where, as a 16-year-old, I've got no right to come over to anybody and tell them, what you're doing with your mum is wrong. What you're doing with your dad is wrong. I've got no right. I can't tell you what made me go over to certain people and intervene. In fact, there's loads of times where I've done it, and I'm glad that for whatever reason, kind of God blessed me with an ability just to be quite fearless, and if I see injustice, I'll go straight towards it and then address it. I don't worry about the consequence. Do you see? You know what I mean? And I don't want that to sound arrogant, but I've never failed. If I see injustice, I truly believe that it could be Mike Tyson, it could be Tyson Fury. If I come over to you and address an issue, whether it's with your elderly parent or disabled brother or sister, you know deep down in your heart that I'm probably right in what I'm saying.
Why do you care? Why do you care? Why does it? There must be something that drives you. Is it something like from childhood or?
Do you build the gift of living, fully enjoying life to the fullest is a gift that not everybody gets to have. And one thing that I don't ever do, right, is I hate doing it. I'm gonna do a little bit of it now, to be honest. I don't like the sob story stuff. You know when you watch X Factor and before somebody comes on, there's a sob story, and you know they're gonna be good. I don't like that. Purely, I'm from the mud. I wasn't born in this country. And I don't like telling people this. It's because it's intimate, and I'll explain it because it makes you understand me a bit more. A bad day in England is paradise somewhere else. You're from Afghan, bro. I hear people talk about things every day and I go, you haven't got a clue about real struggle. I got family, I was born in Jamaica. I was born in not the nicest city. I grew up around madness. I'm not going to go into it to make people feel sorry for me, but I understand that my mum took me here to escape from all of that. So when you got kids moaning about not having trainers or not having this or not having that, last year I bought my uncle his first toilet. He's 72 years old. You see what I'm saying? I've got a picture on my phone that I carry around with me to this day of my house in Spanish Town, Jamaica. And it's not to say, I don't live in a mansion or nothing now, I just live in a normal house, but me and my cousins and my brothers have all got that picture on our phones just as a reminder of what we could have been living. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking of one shed. It's 12 of us in this one shed. Sometimes we didn't even eat. If my uncle didn't go to the river and catch a fish, we may not eat that day. We're coming from, and there's not just me, there's millions of people like that. But then I understand how grateful just being here, you know what I'm saying? I understand how grateful I am. And then over the years, I've just had an obsession with gratitude, and I train some people that it's so emotional, man. Because I'm an athlete, I'm an ex-athlete, I still am an athlete now, so I understand how blessed I am to be physically able to jump, to run, to do things. I train people that can't turn the necks, that can't scratch the nose. If they drop the phone, they can't pick up the phone, that can't even turn. If they've got an itchy ear, they can't even turn. I train people of that caliber. So every day I'm reminded of how grateful everybody is in this room just to even be sat there with your legs crossed to hold your drink. I've got a girl called Francesca, Amy, Kira, DJ that can't even do that. He's taking a sip of his pint. Francesca, that's a dream to her. Not calling you out, but I'm just letting people know that there is a dream to some people. I think everybody in this room, every day I got this thing where I go, luxuries. What are luxuries? Look at us now in some beautiful restaurant in London. Everyone's looking good, smelling good, turning, everyone could move. That's every day we go through around 300 things that other people will class as a luxury. So a luxury to other people could be a fancy car, a watch, a house. A luxury to my guys is being able to scratch your head, being able to turn your neck, being able to wipe your mouth if you've got a bit of dribble. Those are luxuries, you see what I'm saying? And every day I'm reminded of that. And then I don't know what it is since I was young. I've always had that mentality. I don't know whether it's because I've come from where I've come from and I've seen people that are living the worst kind of life, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, thanks for sharing that. No, absolutely, definitely.
Told you I could talk.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about J7 Health Center. And I know you don't call it a gym for a reason.
Yeah.
And also your first client, if I can call them a client.
Yeah, so J7 was when people ask me how long it's been open, it's been legally open for 7 years, legally open. I say that because it's been alive to me for 15 years. I've written J7 on a piece of paper in my mum's kitchen. And exactly how it is on that piece of paper is exactly how it is now. I'm a believer of energy, man. I think energy is important and a vibe. So I want to create a place where you could be doing your yoga in the corner over there. I could be over there doing some press-ups, but I can say, yo, are you good? Are you okay? How's your dog? Yeah, my dog's okay. We could vibe, and this energy does this. Do you understand? Energy is transferable. And I didn't want to have a facility where it was 2 or 3 floors like the typical gyms, because gyms to me are some of the most lonely places. I don't care what anybody says. The word gym, I was If you say the word gym to 9 out of 10 people who have never exercised, it's a scary word. I'm a gym person. Even to this day, I've just come from the gym in Warren Street. I get intimidated. A gym can be an intimidating place where, especially women, they feel lonely, feel like they're getting judged, they feel like it's not a nice environment. So I wanted to redefine what that word gym meant. So I wanted to have a place where everybody, my mum, my aunties, athletes, youngsters, boys, girls, could all be in the same place doing whatever suits them. You see what I'm saying? It's not one size fits all. So I've written it down 15 years ago on a piece of paper. When my son was born, I said, you know what, I need to make it reality. And I was in a good job. I was working for Manchester City Council, and my family were a bit scared because it was a risk of leaving my job, but I wasn't one bit scared. It's 100% going to work because I 100% back myself in anything. And I wasn't one bit worried because I knew that what I've got, I said to myself, and people used to think I was a madman or I was big-headed, but I wasn't saying that. Like if I say now to people, I'm the best, is that big-headed? If I say I'm the best in the world, nobody is. I'm not saying I'm the best in the world at being Javeno. I can't be Hamza, but when it comes to being me, I'm the best in the world at being me. And as long as I do that every single day, I can't fail. It's impossible. It's impossible, whether it's here with you, whether it's anything that I'm doing in life. If I just approach it as 100% Javeno, I can't ever fail. And then I opened it 7 years ago, and it's just gone. It's gone the way I knew it would go, to be honest. But as regards to my first ever client, rest in peace, Ishmael, and this goes back to what I said before about I should have been punched in the face. And I'll explain what I mean now. I should have been punched in the face. I was 16 and I was doing a cricket session on a local park in Manchester, a place called Cheetham Hill, which is a very naughty area. I couldn't take my eyes off this man. There was this, while I'm doing a cricket session, and I remember the day like the back of my hand because I had a yellow tracksuit on. Because the team that I was playing for at the time, the whole kit was yellow, it was disgusting. But I was doing a cricket session and I kept on looking to my left and there was an Asian family playing cricket. And I couldn't take my eyes off this one dude in a wheelchair. And I'm trying my best to focus and work and do the cricket. Of course, I look at him, I said, 1 minute. And I went over to this family. They should have punched me in the face. I had no right, because that's a family cricket match. And I walked over and I said to him, who is this man to you, pointing to Ishmael in his wheelchair? Because I'm looking at Ishmael and we don't look at people enough. You know, some people just kind of look through people. If you actually look in people's eyes, you can see what people are actually feeling. People nowadays just kind of look around. If you look in someone's face and actually take time to look at somebody, you know if they're pretending to be happy. You know if they're actually happy. You know if they're sad. You know what they're going through. And this man wanted in. I'm looking at him, and he wanted to play. And I went over and I said, who is this man to you? One person said it's my mom, it's my dad. Other person said it's my brother, it's my uncle, it's my cousin. So I said, sorry for swearing. I said, how fucking dare you not get him involved in this cricket match? How dare you not get him involved? And they all looked at me, should have punched me in the face. Because I had no right. And I said, this is what we're going to do. I said, we're going to play a big cricket match. So I rolled Ishmael over to the cricket wicket. And I had my 15 boys, and I brought the Ishmael's family over, and I said, we're all going to play a big cricket match. Ishmael, you're going to bat. And he looked at me. I said, what? I said, do your hands work? But with disabled people are scared to ask questions, as if it's disrespectful. People are scared to say the word disabled, like we were talking about, like it's disrespectful. Do you know how many people are scared to say the word black? Because they think it's going to offend. If you say the other word, it's going to offend me. But if you say, yeah, black man, that's not offensive. You know what I'm saying, innit? Anyway, so I rolled him over to the wicket and I give him the bat. And I said, everyone's going to bowl at you. If you swing and miss, nothing happens. If you swing and you hit the ball, everybody on the field has to do one press-up or one burpee. And we played that game for 2 hours, and I've seen this man just turn into the most beautiful. He looked big. I don't mean that patronising. Even though he was in his wheelchair, his presence just grew and grew. At the end of the game, I'll never forget, his wife come over. She didn't speak one word of English. she give me a hug, yeah. She give me a hug that, it's the kind of hug that my kids would give me on Christmas. It's a hug that I'm not even going to try and explain it. I knew exactly what she meant with that hug. She didn't let me go. She just cried for 10 minutes. Little small woman, and she just cried. But I knew exactly what she wanted to say. Ishmael came over, and he spoke in broken English, and he said, it's the first time in 10 years that he's felt alive. I'll never forget that phrase. Because he wasn't born disabled, something happened, there was an accident, and he hurt himself and he became injured. But the first time in 10 years he's felt alive. And when he said that, I was so proud of myself that something said, go over there right now and get him involved. I don't know what if that was a higher power, I don't know what it was, but I was so proud that I did go over. And from that very day, anytime I went anywhere in this city, and I seen somebody that I felt like I could bring a bit of joy to via a bit of exercise, or even just a joke, or even just a high five or a spud, I'd go out my way to do it.
What does empowerment mean to you?
Seeing people, noticing people. That's all I do. I don't care. It baffles me, and my dad gets mad at this, and my mum. I don't see what I'm doing as amazing. I've not cured an illness. I've not created anything. All I'm doing is showing people like genuine care and love, empowering them by letting them just be comfortable with being who they are, and whatever you are, it's okay. And just noticing, saying someone's name. You see what I'm saying? Like a lot of my guys that come through, the first thing that they used to say to me was, why you ain't ask me about my wheelchair? Or why you ain't ask me about my disability? And all due respect, I said, I don't care. Because I don't see your wheelchair. I don't see your medication. I don't see your carer. I see Josh. I see Amy. I see DJ. I see the person, the wheelchair, the stick. I'm oblivious to it until somebody tells me. You see what I'm saying? That to me is empowerment. When somebody can walk in their own skin as themselves and say, yeah, I deserve just to be happy like everybody else. I deserve just as much opportunity as everybody else. And I deserve, above all, just to be treated normal. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I was watching one of your videos, I think it was Josh, running around the gym and also going up and down the mat. So one thing that I'm fascinated by, because every entrepreneur, everybody who does similar things or in the various different industries to you, they have a team. How do you pass on to your mindset to your team? And what's your team like?
I've got a good group of boys, man. They're good. It's a tricky subject for me, this purely because the guys that I've got so obviously I started this by myself, and the guys that I've brought in, I've had to show them the blueprint. And to be honest, the best way I did that was for the first 3-4 months. I said to them, you could be the worst PT in the world. You could have somebody who's the best PT in the world, but if you ain't got not one piece of personality, not one bit of energy, you can't look people in the face and actually communicate. It's like these youngsters who are very academic, but they can't speak to humans. You're not going to go nowhere. So I used to say to them, doesn't matter about your credentials as a PT. Learn to talk to people, learn to sit with people, learn to actually give a shit what someone's saying and actually take it in and respond, have a conversation. That's a skill. So first 3-4 months, I told them all, I don't care what you train them like. I said, just go and sit, go and chop it up with somebody and work. So after the end of the conversation, you should be able to say, that's Jason, he's from here, he does this, he does that, he's got a cat, he's got a dog, he likes this, he likes tapas, he likes whatever. You should be able to tell something about that person. And with my guys, they get it now. I was so hard on them, and I wasn't mean, but I used to let them know that this is not a joke to me. Put it this way, this is how serious this is. I've been doing this since I was 16. I've only started filming in the last 4 or 5 years.
Why? Because I seen somebody accidentally filmed in the gym. Somebody in the gym called Cami. She was filming one of my OAP classes at 12 o'clock. I do an OAP class that I've done for 15 years. So I used to do it in the church, and when I opened my place, they all just came over. She filmed, didn't tell me, and she put it up on Facebook. And I got like 1,000 messages from people saying, oh my God, my grandma would love that, my granddad, my mum. And I seen the power in it, and I seen
if I do it, because I'm not about me, man. Like, I'm not that person. This is why over the years I've had real issues with the fitness industry, because you ain't never going to see me taking my top off. I've had years ago, I could have had 1 million followers 10 years ago if I followed the traditional pattern. I ain't trying to sell sex. All these fitness guys now, they're just trying to sell sex. It's the girls out there with the booties out, cleavage out, guys there with the nipples out and baby oil. They're trying to sell sex. I've never been that guy. So I never wanted to be, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Look at my body, look at my muscles. I was never in it for that. So I was very nervous about people thinking it's about Javeno, it's about the beauty, that the people. So I said to myself, if I film, and this is why if you see a lot of the videos, sometimes I got no shoes on, sometimes I got my toes out, crusty toes, sometimes, you know what I mean, patchy beard, I don't care, because I'm not really bothered about me, as long as they capture the essence of the beauty, the people and the activities. So I was just nervous about being portrayed as, look at me, especially when you're dealing with disadvantaged people. The last thing I want is people to ever think I'm taking advantage, if that makes sense. So that's why I never filmed, and that's why I was late to filming.
That thing I saw, that it was the step up thing that he was doing,
oh,
right?
Oh, we care, yeah.
Yeah. That was really cool. And how do you find more clients? Do they reach out to you, or do they just find you on social media, or do you do something else?
I'm lucky, because I don't believe in flyers and posters and things like that. I just believe in selling myself organically. I've never made a flyer, I've never made a poster. I just let the work speak for itself, and that's just gone to levels that I couldn't even imagine. And I've never ever offered my service. It's just word of mouth, and hundreds of people every single day will message and try and get in and try and book in. And I've got a problem with saying yes, so I've got to try and work out how to fix that.
Yeah. Human potential. Could you go through some of the inspiring stories on how you were able to tap into that human potential and get somebody to realize that actually they're capable of more?
Everyone's different. So when you're talking about human potential and achievements, like most of us in this room, when we talk about achieving things in the gym or whatever, it's physical. It's, I can run further, I can run faster, I can lift heavier. To me, human potential, the greatest human potential, is some of the smallest things on this planet that we take for granted every single day. And I said to myself, I don't want to spill the beans too much on people's personal stuff, but I think the only way you guys are going to understand me is if I do that a little piece. So one of my girls, I'm not going to name her, she's been through something that no person should have to go through. She was in the Ariana Grande situation at Manchester. She had people stepping over her wheelchair to save themselves.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So her relationship with me started weird. So with that there, you're gonna hate the world. That's a mad one. That there, if that was me or anybody in this room, you probably like, the world don't give a shit about me. I'm in my wheelchair, there's a terrorist attack and people are looking past me and just stepping over me to get... That's a horrible situation. So she became a recluse, I think for maybe 8-9 months. She ain't coming outdoors. The world is not for me. The world's not going to accept me. The world doesn't want me to be happy. The world doesn't care about me. I got a phone call one day from a dude, don't even know his name. It's a dude that I thought was from, he was a Cockney, so I thought he's from down here. And he said, I've got a girl who's I've been speaking to online who's a big fan of yours, and can you just ring her and have a chat with her, just cheer her up? So I said, of course. So I rang, and as soon as I heard her voice, she sounded like me. So I said, where are you at? She said, oh, I'm in Manchester, I'm in Stockport. I said, put the phone down. And then she rang back, and I said, you're in Stockport? I said, that's about 15 minutes from me. I put the phone down again. And she rang, and I said, hey, she rang the third time. I said, listen, you're gonna come and see me. I thought you was in London because the guy that rang me was from down south, so I thought you was from down south. I said, if you're in Manchester, come and see me. I want to chat to you and give you a hug and cheer you up properly. I can cheer you up better in person with real energy and real human interaction rather than being on the phone. And she ummed and she ahed. Long story short, the first time she left her house in 9 months was to come and see my daft ass at my gym and give me a hug. And then she's been every week ever since. She's now back living. She's a beautiful young girl, man. She's 26. She should be doing what 26-year-olds are doing. She's got a little boyfriend that I'm not happy about. I'm going to beat him up when I see him. But things like that. She's living life as a 26-year-old, and when you're talking about the human performance, human potential, you know what she did recently, which is human potential, and to me was one of the greatest achievements. She went to the cinema with her girlfriends to watch the Barbie movie. That to me is a win. That to me is an Olympic standard achievement. That to me is what it's about for me. Not necessarily, don't get me wrong, the physical things that I do good, but the fact that she's gone back to living and doing what normal 26-year-old girls are doing, that means the world.
What does the next decade look like for you? Are you launching another gym? Are you launching another health center?
Nope.
Or what does the next decade look like?
I don't know and I don't care. And what I mean by that is, well, you know, when it comes to business, people look at my stuff and think I've got a great business, which I have. And I think I've got a great business is because I don't care. I care about today and doing what's right today. And my thing is, I'm blessed that I've been given a gift to make people happy through exercise, influencing and making millions of people happy. Let me get some more millions. There's thousands of disabled people who've watched my stuff and then replicated the videos and sent me them and shown me, look what you make. I watched your video, and like this one boy, I'll never forget this one. There's Josh. You've seen Josh. One of the first things I ever did with Josh with cerebral palsy was he's in his wheelchair, he's a permanent wheelchair user, but he can stand up for about 10, 15 seconds. So I said, bet, you're going to stand up for 25 seconds today. He looked at me and I said, yeah, watch. And I made him get up, and he stood up. He got him out of his chair and he had a little bar in front of him and he made him stand up. And he stood up for 25 seconds and I'm cheering and I'm gassing him up. That video went mad, and there was a little boy, I think in Northern Ireland, that sent me a video saying he's the same age as Josh, similar condition. He's going to try that today. So he set up his camera in his bedroom and he had his drawers, and he got up out of his wheelchair and he held onto his drawers, and he was just so emotional and he was crying and he couldn't believe it. And if it wasn't for him, he's saying that watching that video made him physically want to try something better today. That's what the next 10 years is for me. Trying to touch more people. How many more Joshes are out there? How many more Amy's and Carey's? How many more people with Down syndrome, strokes, dementia? That's what I want to do. Originally, it was to franchise and have different gyms, but please don't take this big-headed, because I'm not that kind of person, and I hope that you get that. I don't know how to teach what I've got, if that makes sense, because I don't know what I've got. I don't know how to, I think, obviously I'm very passionate about what I do. How do I teach that to somebody? I don't know. I can show you a blueprint of how to do an exercise and a strategy, but how do you teach passion? How do you teach love? I've not mastered that yet. So if I was to open another facility in London or Birmingham or anywhere, what if I get 10 trainers in there who are just basic, boring people with no personality? But yes, they know how to do a bicep curl. Yes, they know how to do a squat. Yes, they know how to do a seated exercise for somebody in a wheelchair. But they've not got that extra thing. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I was going through my health condition. I have a problem where my platelets drop, so my immune system attacks my platelets. So that means if I was to go and do a gym session and my platelets are low, I'll internally bleed. So I remember a few years back, I'll ask a personal trainer, they'll look at my height and be like, look, you've got a great shape, I can do really well for you. I'm like, but I've got immune thrombocytopenia, so how are you going to help me? They will get scared. So they will kind of push away and they'll say, actually, you've got to look after how you train yourself. So that was I was going to come to that question next as to how are you planning to make an impact on other personal trainers across the globe to do what you do, or even a percentage of what you do, right?
I've been telling them the truth. I've got, every single day I get trainers from around the world who message me. And I'll never lie to them. Because then this is the problem with the fitness industry. People follow trends, just like fashion. People follow trends. I didn't start what I'm doing because it was cool. I started it because I wanted to help people. So now people are starting this because Javeno's doing it. No, that's the wrong way. Sorry for swearing. That's the wrong way to do it. Don't start it because I'm doing it. I'd rather you go, I like what you do, I respect it, big yourself up, keep going. That's good enough for me. Don't say you want to do what I'm doing, because if you're going to say that, you're all in. You're not in it for the money. You're not in it for the fame. You're in it because you want to help somebody with cancer, help somebody with Down syndrome, help somebody with... You're in it because there's no getting out. It sounds like the mafia. But for me, there's no getting out once you're in. It's because, let's say like a nurse becomes a nurse because they really want to help people. A teacher becomes a teacher because they really want to teach. A lot of people want to become PTs because it's cool. You're in the gym all day and you're wearing tight clothes and you're just taking selfies. But that gym, my stuff, you have to get into this because it's in your heart and you're so serious about it. Because at the end of the day, if you get in it because it's a gimmick, what about the person that you're training? You're training them based off a gimmick. Somebody with, like I train people with terminal cancers and illnesses. I can't train you with gimmick. I can't train you with banter. I'm training you because I understand the seriousness of what's going on. And this is where I'm a bit bipolar with what I do, even because I'm in pain daily, man. I got where I am because I'm in pain. I'm in pain, but it's not physical pain, but my energy is crazy and I'm this mad energetic guy because I know on the flip side of that coin, disabled people are going through some of the worst situations that humans could go through. I could tell you situations that will make you so disgusted. So in order for me to erase all of that pain and disrespect and belittling that people are going through, I need to come with something so humongous and powerful, banter, energy. It erases all of that crap. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And then when I say with pain, that's a serious thing. I've had to absorb people's pain. It's not nice. It's not a nice feeling. But I don't mind it because that's the foundation of who I am. I've had to learn to absorb people's pain when I come across people who are going through something horrible. In order for me to really understand that person and go to serious depths to help that person, I need to be able to understand your pain, so I take it on, I absorb it, I ball it up, I try and create something even more powerful so I can erase it. And that's a day-to-day thing with me, and it's about being present for me. I don't think too far ahead, man, because with my job, I'm constantly reminded of the beauty of today, the beauty of now, and the beauty of just being present. Bro, look at this. I've got a cancer patient client. They thought he had 7 months, right? He's actually got 4. So I lost it, man. When he told me I lost it outside my gym, there's a chemist, and I'm outside and I'm just in bits. Because I've had to, like, when someone's going through something like that, you can't help but absorb it, what they're going through. If you care for that person and they're saying that they're in pain or they're going through this, if you love that person and care for that person, you take it on. So I'm outside and I'm in bits, and I say, sorry, Al. I say, what am I crying out here for? So what am I sad? It's not about me, Javeno, it's about this man. So what can I do right now in the present to make him have a great experience right now and forget that he's dying and forget that he's got 4 months left to live? That's how serious it is to me, and that's how I think. And I know that's a bit drastic. So that session, I just went out there and I did the maddest session just to make sure that for 30 minutes he's happy and he's present, because I know that as soon as that session's finished and he's back home, I should have turned my phone. As soon as that session finishes, he's back home, the reality is you've got terminal cancer. You see what I'm saying? And I think with my work, it's understanding real heart pain. Heart pain is how I got where I am. Most people in this room have been through heart pain. Talking real shit. When you lose somebody that you love, when you've been disrespected in certain ways, heart pain is one of them things that I've had to learn to take it in and create something better. And what you said about the powerlifting, I don't care about the powerlifting. That's why I don't tell nobody. So I'm proud of myself. When I finished playing professional cricket about 5 years ago, I thought, I'll try some powerlifting. Because I wanted to be competitive, qualified for Great Britain, went to the European Championships, won a gold medal in the deadlift and the bench press. Woo! Doesn't mean nothing. It's not real strength, Hamza. So that little deadlift bar with the weight, whatever is on it, to me that ain't real strength. Real strength to me is Auntie Veronica, rest in peace. Auntie Veronica is a little Irish lady that I've trained for many years. In COVID, she died in COVID, but I was the only one who knew she was ill. Before COVID hit, about a couple months before COVID hit, about 2 months, every Friday at 12 o'clock we do this class, OAP class. Wickedest class you'll ever see. There's about 20 ladies, there's 6 or 7 Jamaican ladies that are nuts, Irish ladies, Scottish ladies, Pakistani ladies. It's just a great, beautiful class. Some of them are 97 years old. Some of them are in the 70s, 80s. Beautiful class. 12 o'clock the class starts, 11:57, word for word, Hamza. Strike me down if I'm lying. 11:57, Auntie Veronica's coming to the gym and she's gone, Jay, can I have a word with you, son? So I've gone, yes, Auntie V, come in. So I put her in my office. She's looked at me and she's gone, right, got cancer. I've not got long left. Do not go out there and tell any of the girls I just want to have fun and live my life. She said it like that. I just started bawling. And then she started crying and then she wiped her eyes and she went, all right, on with the show, son. It's an old, strong-ass Irish lady, man. They're built different in Ireland. They are built different. And then she wiped her eyes, on with the show, son. Went outside and we're doing the class, Hamza. And it was, remember the class starts at 12, about 12:17. I'm just trying my best not to hold it in. And one of the girls, a few of them have come over to me and gone, Jay, are you all right, son? You seem a bit... And I went, nah, it's just hay fever, innit? Hay fever. And I'm looking at this woman at 12:17, right? Is anybody in there Irish, by the way? So in Ireland, they've got this little jig, little Irish jig. Tell me, ma, when I come home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. It's a little jig that they do. So when I play that song, the girls go crazy to it. 12:17, that song's on, and I'm looking at Auntie Veronica, and she's getting down. She's just dancing her ass off. And I'm thinking, 20 minutes ago, you just told me that you're going to die. And yet now, you're in a room of all people that love and care for you. Nobody knows, and you're the life and soul of the party. That's strength. That strength don't mean, that strength is so many levels above my little deadlift strength. That strength is so many levels above how much a man can bicep curl or check. It doesn't even compare.
Yeah. How do you look after yourself? How's your mental health? How do you look after your mental health? I mean, there's a lot of entrepreneurs in the One Club, and a lot of the times we entrepreneurs, we look at burnout and we look at ways to look after ourselves because the business gets too much. But looking at you and listening to the stories and watching the videos, what does Javeno do to look after himself?
Do you want the professional answer or the truth?
The truth.
So, I don't do as much as I should to look after myself. My relationship with myself is quite important, right? So, I'm quite selfish when it comes to investing in me, whether it's me training or me in the forest with my little boys playing wrestling and dragons. I don't answer my phone. I'm very involved with myself. And I've had this rule for many years. In order for me to give 100% to you, I've got to give myself 200%. That means that when it's Javeno's time to do me, I do me to the fullest. I literally don't, even like, my wife's not here so I can talk a bit of nonsense about her. So, you know when you missus and she's got mates and boyfriends and you know them but they're not your friends, but you know it's your girlfriends, mates, boyfriends, and they all do the group thing. We go on group dates and there's like 6 couples. Anyway, so her friends are good. Like, I got no problem with them, but they're not my people. You know what I mean? It's not. So there's times where, let's say she says there's Rachel's birthday and we're all going to go out. Do you want to come? I say, nah, I'm all right. Why? But it's going to be all the boyfriends. No, I'm all right. Because it's all pretending. I'm with people that, it's not that I don't like them, but it's just pretend conversation. You know, with the typical, oh yeah, what have you done today? Oh, the weather's good, isn't it? It's that kind of conversation. So what I've realized is that my relationship with me isn't based on pretending. My relationship with me is based on environments and people that encourage me to be me. You see what I'm saying? And that's how I look after myself, where I don't put myself in positions where I've got to pretend to be anybody else. Even here today, I could, like my manager says straight away, because I was thinking, it's a bit posh, innit? Come in here. I went, should I swear? She went, you swear every day? So I'm going to swear, because this is me. And that's how I look after my mental health. Because if I lose this, I can't do the job to the last standard that I do it if I don't look after myself as regards to just being sane. And I just remind myself every day that I'm a good person, man. I've got an obsession with being a good person. I've not got, sometimes people look for me to say some Socrates, Einstein quote or theory. I haven't got it. In fact, I've got something. The best way to have a good business and change the world is don't be a dickhead.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Doesn't matter what work you do. You could be a doctor, you could be a physio, you could be a hairdresser. Just be nice, just be a nice person, and everything else should fall into place. And that's the way I try to kind of run my business.
No, thank you for that. Fine. One thing, I was speaking to my girlfriend, and she was just like, how is he able to tap in to that side of him where he can love people the way you love your sister or you love your brother? And one of the things we were talking about was that if, God forbid, if this happened to your sister or your brother, if this happened to my sister or my brother, I would look past the disability. I'll say, how do we find a solution? And you do that for every single person. It doesn't matter if they're a stranger or a close friend. You do that with everybody. And I feel like you're a very, very, very rare human. So thank you so much, Javeno. What advice would you give to everybody who's listening, to the audience? There's going to be a lot of people listening to this on YouTube as well. What advice would you give to the audience?
Be that person. I am that person. That's what I've got all these notebooks, right? Where if anybody was to find them, they wouldn't understand nothing that's in them. One, my handwriting's really bad. But I've got a notebook. Every notebook, I've got I am that person on that notebook. And what I mean by that is, we live in a world now where it's all about affirmations of who you want to be, right? Affirmations that I'm going to be strong, I'm going to be confident, I'm going to be unbreakable. We're taught to go out and find these things. But the truth is, I am them things. I don't need to go out and find affirmations and things. I want to be strong, I want to be this, I want to be that. It's not about who you want to be, it's about releasing who you already are. Everyone in this room has been in situations where you've had to be confident. Everyone in this room has been in situations where you've had to be unbreakable, resilient, or whatever. So I don't need affirmations. You are that person. Everything that you write down that you want to be, you are that person already. Just got to dig deep and get it out.
Thank you. I want to open it up to the audience for questions. That was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Vivian. My question is, first of all, thank you for doing what you do with your heart and soul. Posterity will thank you for it. Not just this generation, but generations to come. The question for me is, how do you deal with if you feel discouraged sometimes because you're human? How do you deal with discouragement and pick yourself back up? If you ever feel discouraged as a person.
I feel discouraged. I feel all the time. I feel guilty a lot of the times, but I think like really guilty. I've got a guilt that suffocates me every single day, man. It's a horrible guilt. But I think the answer to your question is the truth will always set you free, man. The truth, like every single day, this crippling, horrible guilt that I've got. It's the truth will, like if you actually just sit and strip it all back. For you to understand what I mean about the guilt is, fuck it, I'll tell you. I'm not afraid to show people my struggles or my demons. I ain't afraid because it's the truth. The truth is in my words, the truth is in me, it's in my videos, the truth is 100% me on stage now. And the truth is disabled people have been treated really badly for a long time. elderly people as well. The truth is, humans have treated humans so bad where they're making other people feel not human. The truth is that most of us in this room now have got somebody to fight for you. If shit gets real, you got somebody to back you, or you can phone and say, yo, I need some help, I need some support. The truth is not everyone's got that. I've got a person in Florida. I wish I was magic and I could clip my fingers and go to everywhere, but I can't. And that's where my guilt comes from. I've got a person in Florida that I'm praying to God that she gets what she wants. She's made the decision that she doesn't want to live, and she's at peace with it. She's a supporter of mine for a long time. Made the decision that she doesn't want to be here. She's got family members and friends in Florida. She ain't spoken to nobody in 7-8 weeks, and she's severely disabled with many different things. And ain't nobody even rang, not even a text message, no knock on the door, no nothing. And she's made the decision she doesn't want to be here. But she said, if I was in Florida, it would possibly be the reason why she would want to stay. I can't, and that's where my guilt comes from, because I wish I could just go, but it's not that simple. And I've had many situations like that. And it's not about being discouraged and things like that. For me, the truth will always set me free. And the truth is, I would if I could. And I've got to try, and I don't know the answer to how I need to work it out for myself. How do I deal with things like that? Because I do have a lot of them situations. But to me, I think, as long as the truth is, it's not no gimmick to me, this is real. And I would definitely help if I could.
We need to clone you.
I hope that answered your question a little bit, buddy.
Jay, truly inspirational. Thank you. One answer from Hamza about your mental health was really interesting. That you look at 200% for yourself in order to give 100% to other people. I think that's really important for everyone to take on board, because you really have to look after your own mental health. But my question is really about your giving gene. Clearly, you have a giving gene. You have some sort of thing within inside you that makes you want to help others. Is that just something that only few people have, or is that something that we can all generate? I mean, on One Club, we have lots of people that post lots of inspirational messages about how you can be your better self. But is the better self that you truly are something that's unique to you, or do you think we can cultivate that in everybody?
I don't know. I think exactly what me and Jason were speaking before. We were speaking about real love and care makes no sense. Think about it. Real love and care, it don't make no sense. It's impossible to explain, let alone work out. We're talking about, like, if I said to you how much you love your kids, you can't put it into words. That's when you know it's real and powerful. But with this giving gene, I don't know whether it's a gene. I don't know. When people ask me things like that, I can just honestly say, I think it's about mummy and daddy. I generally believe that. I don't mean DNA. I mean that I've seen mum and dad just give me and my brothers everything. I've seen them sacrifice everything. I've seen my dad do things that I'm not saying no other dad does. I've seen him sacrifice so much for me just to give me a platform to be me. And I don't know whether that, like I was a cricket player. So even when I was younger, from Manchester to Birmingham is 2 hours. If I had a very important game, but it was in Birmingham, we wasn't rich. So a lot of the rich kids that played cricket, mum and dad could just take the day off. My dad had to be in work. So there was times where my dad used to drop me off in Birmingham at 6 o'clock at the ground, drive 2 hours from 4 to 6, drive to Birmingham, drop me off, drive back because he had to be back in work at 8:30, do a full day's work and then drive back to... He did things like that all the time. I remember one time he drove in from Manchester to London twice in the day just to make sure I got to this cricket match because he knew he didn't want me to miss out. So that huge sacrifice that dad used to make for me, the huge sacrifices that mum used to make for me and my brothers, I don't know whether me seeing that has just made me kind of go, let me try and do... I can't ever repay that back, by the way, but I can do it in my way, which is maybe this. I don't know.
If there
was one message to the non-disabled community about the disabled community, what would it be?
A message to the
Non-disabled community about the disabled community.
normality. Normality, I think, is king. And there's a situation happened to me recently, right, and it really got me angry because as business people, you're supposed to tick boxes, right? There's certain business things you're supposed to do. Sometimes you're supposed to throw away the rule book and just be human. Sometimes throw away the rule book and just be human. I've had a young girl recently. She's got one of the rarest leukemias in the country. There's only 2 girls in the country with this rare form of leukemia, and I train both of them at my gym. And one of them, when she come in, the very first time she come in, I give her a hug, and as I've come in, as I'm squeezing away, letting her go, she's gone, no, nobody gives me hugs anymore. Stay a bit longer. And I lost it. And then I just started crying my eyes out. And then I said, what do you mean no one gives you hugs? This is a girl, she was still on chemo. She went, oh no, mummy and daddy hug me, but when I'm in the hospital and I'm in the physios, the rule says you're not allowed to throw away the rule book. Normality is that young girl who's got cancer, I'm gonna hug the shit out of you. Whether the rule book says it or not. The rule book says that with Josh and Amy and my disabled guys, you know a lot of care homes with elderly people, you're not allowed to touch. It's against the rules. I've had people comment on my stuff that I've not seen saying, you're not supposed to touch people. Shut up. I'm touching them. I'm not going to go buy a harness, an electrical piece of thing that attaches them and lifts them up like a piece of meat. These are young humans. And I think with disabled people, able-bodied people need to understand the normal disabled people they don't feel sorry for themselves. They're not asking people to pity me. They're saying, inspire me. They're not looking for handouts. They're saying, motivate me. They want to be a part of the joke, treat people normal. That's the same way that you would banter with your friends and make jokes with your friends. A disabled person is exactly, I've got some sick jokes for my disabled guys. One of my guys last week, he's an amputee he's got no legs from the knees onwards. You know what he said to me? It's a bit cold in here, Jay, my toes are cold. But that there is normality. So with disabled people, sometimes people are scared to just be normal. And I think that's what the message should be. Treat people normal, and that's the most powerful thing I can say. And this is why I still don't get it. I don't understand why everyone's buzzing off me. All these people and all these things that I do. I sometimes sit in my car on the way home and go, I'm not doing nothing. I'm just doing what everybody should be doing. So I'm thinking that shows you how the state of the world and how bad the world it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Usually I do a little talk after this, but I'm just going to leave it as that because I think we should leave it as that. That was absolutely
Told you I
brilliant.
could talk.
No,
You
it's
didn't believe me, did
brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. No, thank you so much, Javeno.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.